Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Long time no seen, but here I am with a new update, and as you can see I'm on the road obviously, and that has a specific reason. I'm not home over the weekend. I'm visiting my parents and my older brother in my hometown, and whenever I'm here I take this as part of an opportunity and I visit my favorite record store, and this is also the record store that I always go to when it's record store day. And yeah, I'm a little bit excited because I just have some free time and it's always great to go to the stores. And yeah, actually when I'm digging, it's always the same. I'm always looking for audiophile pressings, for some krautrock, jazz, vertigo swirl records, classic rock. You can never know what you will find, but like I said, it's a great store. They have a wide selection of punk rock, alternative rock, independent music, metal, classic rock, soundtracks, hip-hop, actually a little bit of everything, but it's always worth a visit. Whenever I go there I at least find, I don't know, 5 records or more, and yeah, I hope I can capture a little bit on video for you guys, and I talk to you later. Well, I just arrived and it's very cold here in Germany in these days. It's winter time of course, and there is even some snow on the streets. And yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what I will find, and I keep you updated. Alright, I'm home again, and it was such a great afternoon. I almost spent 5 hours at the store and I bought a little more than I actually planned, but that's the way it is. And in this time, actually, I almost bought jazz only because the owner told me that he just bought a huge jazz collection and there were around, I think, 800 jazz records. A lot of original US pressings, a lot of Japanese pressings, and a lot of early German pressings. And I skipped quickly through them and just took what I really wanted. And there are some highlights. I already posted it to the Facebook group, but here are all finds. The first one is of course the true classic Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. I already have 2 pressings of this. I already have the Classic Records pressing and another reissue pressing, but when I saw this, I just had to get it because it's not the UK first pressing, but it's one of the earliest UK pressings. It must be from the early 1960s or from the mid 1960s, and it's a stereo pressing. All the records are in beautiful condition. I would call them near mint, And yeah, as soon as such thing appears, you just have to get it, you know what I mean? And yeah, Miles Davis Kind of Blue. I'm happy that I could add another pressing to the collection. I also bought a lot of free jazz in the last time, and I was happy that I could find an original US pressing of Ornette Coleman. And this album is called Tomorrow is the Question. It came on Contemporary Records, and yeah, this stuff actually never appears here in Germany. And like I said, it's a US first pressing, and I can't wait to give this one a listen, because free jazz is really something I'm into at the moment. The next one is a Japanese pressing by Kenny Burrell. That's how the cover looks like, and the album is called Guitar Forms. It was arranged by Jill Evans, and in this case it's also a gatefold, and I can tell you it's a really heavy cardboard. And as soon as I had it in my hands, I was thinking that today's reissues they should really be more quality in for the cover. And yeah, great album. I listened to this one digitally before, and this is a great addition to the collection. Kenny Burrell. The next one is an original first pressing on Atlantic, and it's by Philly Joe Jones and Elvin Jones. The album is just called Together. That's how it looks like. I really like the cover art, and yeah, I'm really happy that I could find all these US pressings, because here in Germany they never ever appear. Same for the next two ones. I also bought two on impulse, and this one is by Archie Shepp, and it's called 4 for the Train. I hope you can see it. The gatefold is still, it's so glossy, and yeah, the impulses are always top quality. And I just saw that this is a mispressing for the cover art, because if you take a look, that's how the gatefold should open, but it's the wrong rake. And yeah, I have a small impulse collection so far, and I'm always happy if I can add stuff to the collection. And I also found Stanley Tarantine, and this one is called Let It Go. Also strong near mint condition, beautiful gloss, and yeah, impulse is always good. I didn't know this album before, so this was more or less a blind buy, but yeah, solid stuff. Really happy. Like I said, I also managed to find some Japanese pressings, and this is Max Roach, and the album is called Deeds Not Words. Japanese Victor pressing, and also on Contemporary, on Riverside this time. That's how the label looks like. Also had the Japanese sheet, and yeah, solid stuff. Max Roach. The next one I just bought for the cover art, and it's Kenny Dorham. The album is called Matador, and to my mind this looks so cool. I really dig this kind of cover art, very hypnotic and hypnotizing. And that's how it looks like on the back, and it's on United Artists Records, and it's also a Japanese pressing, so quality stuff again. Up next is Coleman Hawkins, and the album is called The Hawk Flies High. I didn't know this one before, but I missed some Coleman Hawkins in the collection, and in this case it's an US pressing, and I think it's a reissue on the Fantasy label. It originally came on Riverside, of course. And yeah, that's Coleman Hawkins. I also like the cover art with the saxophone and the hawk. That's pretty cool, I think. Yeah, one of the missing pieces for my Herbie Hancock collection. This is Herbie Hancock, and the album is called Sextant. Great cover art as well, a little cosmic. And in this case, let me check that. I think it's it's a Dutch first pressing on the orange CBS label. Yeah, that's how it looks like. And yeah, Herbie Hancock is just one of my favorite piano players, and of course one of my favorite jazz musicians in general, and I really dig his music. I was really happy to find the self-titled Jaco Pastorius solo. I bought the music on vinyl pressing of this, but I had so many problems with warping and bad pressing, and this one again, is in near mint condition, and this is such a great album. If you're a bass player or if you love the sound of an electric bass, this is the one to get. The first track already, Donna Lee, is so good and it's audiophile as hell. I want to get the ORG pressing at some point, but for now I'm happy to have an original, Jaco Pastorius. The next finds are from the €2 bin, and in this case it's Jerry Mulligan. It's on the MRC label, and yeah, that was just a blind buy because I like the other musicians that are playing on this one. Beautiful condition again, it's a Dutch pressing, and can't wait to give it a listen. Yeah, and same for the next one, also €2, The Genius of Lee Morgan, heavy cardboard. This must be in US pressing on Everest Records. I like the cover art. Lee Morgan is a fantastic trumpet player. I have some of his stuff on Blue Note, and yeah, that's a great addition to the collection. I also found an Italian compilation for €2 of Archie Shepp. And Archie Shepp is just, as I said, I'm into free jazz at the moment, and he's just such a great musician. And in this case, I really like that it has a booklet and stuff like that. And here's the record. Of course, I can't read it because it's in Italian, but anyways, for €2, it's a great find. That's it for the jazz finds, but I also bought a blues record, and it's by John Lee Hooker, and it's called The Healer from 1989. I think this is considered as an audiophile classic, and yeah, I love John Lee Hooker, and I'm happy to have it. I listened to it once online and I really liked it, and I had it on my want list for a while, but I never saw it in the wild. So yeah, John Lee Hooker, The Healer. And the last record for today is soul music. It's Isaac Hayes, and the album is called Hot Buttered Soul. Also €2. It's a original German pressing on Stax. That's how the label looks like. Sorry. Yeah. And yeah, that's a solid edition. I mean, it's not that rare or something like that, but anyways, yeah, great edition. So that's it for today. I hope you liked my little trip to the record store in my hometown. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe. I will also put a link to the Facebook page of the record store, which is called Plattenbau. They are so friendly, and it's always worth a visit to go there. Thanks for watching, and I say bye-bye. See you next time.